What's good, YouTube man? It's your boy Coco here back with another banger for y'all boys. And hey, today we're gonna react to why we need to support Lost Soul Aside by Raggy Raw. Man, if you guys enjoy this type of content, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, man. Help us out, man. Without further ado, man, let's hop right into it. Let's see what Raggy Raw talking about, man. I like the video. Let's get it.
How's it going, everybody? Ragroth here. So this is kind of my third entry in the why we need to support insert game here kind of series. I've done it with Bleach, I've done it with Sonic, kind of more established IPs with developers that have, I guess, more experience making games. This one's a little different though, because this is with a game that is a totally new IP, and with a studio, this is going to be their first game, or at least I guess their first big game, and that is Lost Soul Aside. You know, if you've seen me kind of recent videos, I've been getting.
I'm so hyped for this shit. I already got it pre-ordered. To me, the game is like a Final Fantasy 15 mixed with a Devil May Cry, and I'm super hyped for this shit, dog. August 29th, man. Let's get it. Let's get it, man.
I'm more excited about this game. More news is coming out. It's pretty close, at least provided it doesn't get delayed again. So I kind of want to do this video talking about kind of why I think we do need to support it, despite maybe some concerning things we're hearing. Regarding concerning things, I did want to talk about some.
And before he goes over the concerning things, I believe that you should try some shit out for yourself and not, take people's opinion into account. Granted, you can still watch, like reviews and stuff like that, but as to me, I like to experience shit for myself. You know what I'm saying? And be able to judge the game for what it is when I get it in my hands. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to, experience the story, the combat on my time. So, just take everything, from the concerning standpoint with a grain of salt. So,
Previews that came from, I think, China Joy, and I believe whatever the event was last week. I'm not entirely familiar with these conventions and events, so forgive me for seeming ignorant. So I know general previews from the game. I don't have any kind of written source or posted source. These are just what I've heard other YouTubers say. They've heard from people, and I think
see, there's no written source. So, like I was just saying,
previews have been saying that generally the game is fun. I think the complaints were mainly that sometimes I guess the huge amount of particles and effects going on can be a little distracting, like you can't entirely see your character. I think also too that some of the hits kind of lacked impact. And I think this is probably the biggest one, was that, the game has performance mode and quality mode. I think quality mode, it does dip under 60 frames and isn't even a steady 30 frames. And I think in performance, I think either that the back...
oh, this PS5 stuff. I'm on PC, so that doesn't... we can change the settings on the shit, so that doesn't really affect the PC gamer, so...
Rounds get blurry, or it still isn't even a constant 60 frames, which is a little bit of a bummer if true. Hopefully those are things that can be ironed out. I think those are problems that I think maybe FF16... No, FF16 I think didn't really have that problem. It would just be 30 frames if you were kind of just exploring around, and then if you got into combat, it would go to 60 frames. I'm thinking of probably like Jedi Fallen Order, where I think that game had some problems even in performance mode.
I've read a lot of comments under a couple of... I've been watching some videos besides this one too, and a lot of people said they pre-ordered. So I think this game is gonna sell pretty well, despite the concerns and everything. I think this game has the potential to do some great things. Obviously we haven't played the game yet, but once the reviews start coming out, and I think it might release a little earlier. Probably like instead of like a midnight, on the 29th, it might release on the 28th around like 9 o'clock. So that's what I'm hoping for. But we'll obviously have to wait and see. So, but again, I'm super hyped for this shit. I just want to be able to play the game. We got a week and a half left. Well, just about a week. I think today is Sunday at the time of recording, so about a week.
Today is 60 frames, which was a little bit of a bummer. I do have to get back to that game though, because I did like what I played. None of these concerns are like world breaking. Maybe like the performance thing is a bit of a bummer, especially for a game like this. 60 frames is kind of a big deal for like games, or steady frame rate I should say, is a big deal for hack and slash gameplay.
I agree. I agree. 60 frames is a big deal for hack and slash game. Any type of games. You know, you want a constant, frame rate. Especially with fighting games that have to be well optimized. Obviously, with the net coding and everything, and even an old game like Fable. I'm playing Fable right now, and just being able to play that at 60 frames versus 30 frames on maybe like an Xbox or an old emulator, it's just buttery smooth, man. The responsiveness, no lag input and just overall how the game, looks is amazing, even now. So
Especially with just how fast it is. Then I guess the more concerning one, but I feel like from a source that like people aren't that crazy about the person, or maybe they're not that reliable. This is kind of the big one that I think is sort of, I guess, made headlines, if you want to call it that. It's from someone named Lunatic Ignis. So they said there are a lot of concerns about Lost Soul Aside. I had the occasion to play the game alongside.
and this game is obviously not a Souls like, it is an action RPG. Do not get on Twitter saying another Souls game. People automatically see, somebody with a sword and a boss health bar and assumes that it's a Souls like. No. Y'all need to understand the difference between Souls likes and action RPGs. Like Devil May Cry, Final Fantasy 15, Bayonetta, Nier Automata. Those are action RPGs. Souls likes are Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Sekiro, Lies of P. Two different genres, guys. Come on.
Alongside various Chinese journalists and content creators, and there are some things that we learned about. And we only played the first chapter in the demo, about 2 hours with multiple boss battles. Not really much to say there. Yang being confirmed, it is double A game. This was kind of a controversial one because I guess first of all we probably all thought that it was a triple A game for a while. First of all, and then
What's the difference between a double A and triple A game? If you obviously watch the preview and you interested in the game, just buy it. Why does it? What's the difference between a double A studio and a triple A studio? In all honesty, if you see that you might be interested in the game, just play it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
secondly, I think also because the game is priced at $60, which is I guess considered a bit higher than the double A game price. Now, I actually thought it kind of made sense because I was kind of wondering why the game, complaining about it being cheaper, why it,
This game don't seem that open world. It's more linear, but it might be open areas you could look for as far as like for chests and shit. I'm rocking with that. Every game don't need to be a open world, 100-hour, fetch quest simulator. I haven't even. I bought Assassin's Creed Shadow Day One, and I haven't played it since because that game was just so bloated with shit. So I'm glad we're getting back to our roots. Everything don't have to be fucking open world. Granted, I do love an open world game, but it can be, bloated at times, and then seeing all that shit on the map. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about when I say that. So
wasn't like $70. And we have seen some games recently have becoming $80 as well, so AAA games. So I actually figured this lined up, but then I know the common example is people bring up the Expedition 33, which I believe is a AA game, and that's $50. So I don't know, maybe this is a case of it just being a higher end AA game. Maybe the prices have been shifting recently so much that it's the new AA game price, which I know kind of sucks. Or it's simply because Sony is the one that prices these out, and they, I guess because they're funding it.
I don't pre-order games often, so if you're getting my pre-order, that means I have faith in it. But I think it's gonna do well. I honestly think it's gonna do well. Honestly, why you should support Lost Soul Aside is if you look interested in the game, if support what you love. You know what I'm saying? If this game looks interesting to you, then why not support it? You know what I mean? I think I know what platform is going to sell most on. Not trying to sound like a shield, play whatever you want to play. And I think this game has potential to come to Xbox and Nintendo Switch too, if it wants to, you know. And I feel like this game is gonna show PlayStation fanboys on Twitter that just sit on Twitter all day tweeting away, no exclusives, must go to Xbox and all this other shit. And it's like, this game is gonna show you why they're doing day to day on PC and why they're putting exclusives games on Xbox. They were already third party. PlayStation was already third party when they started porting to PC. But for some odd reason, y'all don't want y'all PlayStation exclusives going to Xbox. Who the fuck care? At the end of the day, we all gamers. Anybody that tries to gatekeep and experience somebody else is a fucking loser in my book. You claim you love these games, so why not share those experiences with other people? That's just me, personally. But overall, let's wrap this video up. I think this is going to be a great game. You know what I'm saying? Probably not like a 9 or 10, obviously. Probably like an 8, 8.5. But I'm excited. I'm excited for this shit. Yeah, 9 years in the making. You know what I'm saying? Developed by one guy. Funded by PlayStation. I'm ready, dog. I'm ready. I'm ready for this shit. But if you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Y'all take care, man. Peace out.